Alright. So, probably got another 2 batches to go. Now I usually do about, we get a kilo of chicken thighs and I end up leaving 2 thighs behind, and then that feeds us 2 for dinner, as well as we both get another meal out of it for lunch. Stir fry lasts a few days and it's really good to heat up as leftovers. So, and you can always cut your chicken up, marinate it, and then freeze it so that when you're in a hurry, you just take it out the night before. I like to make my stir fry on the Sunday or the Saturday. That way, when I have to come home from work on Monday, all I've got to do is cook it up. Oh, now I would not advise picking on the chicken before, because then what I do is after I've done it all in batches, I put it all back in the wok and give it another little once over just to make sure all the chicken's cooked through, because with the chicken thighs they're quite thick and they might look like they're done on the outside, but you got to just make sure you get into all the little crevices of the chicken. Alright. The last batch. Now while that's going, oh, where's my paper towel? Let me talk about my stir fry sauce that I've made. I've given you the recipe, but it's quite difficult, so you don't have to do it to this extent, but I've basically put ginger, galangal root and turmeric in the NutriBullet with soy sauce, sesame oil and some of this chili stuff which I've shown you before. The chili stuff, which you can get at Coles. I also throw a bit of honey in there and some pepper. But you can use Heath stir fry sauce recipe if you want, or otherwise you just use a bit of sesame oil, soy sauce and a bit of chili. Or you can buy, where is it? This one. Maggie's original seasoning. That's quite a good flavour too. Don't buy those stir fry sachets because they're full of preservatives. You can easily make your own. Now, as you can see over here, the steam's coming up. So what I'll do, it means it's boiling. So make sure it's on low at that point so it does slowly. And that's what this little hole's for, so the steam can escape. And don't just chuck a bit of rice into a big pot of boiling water because it'll go really gluggy. It's just 1 for 1 with your rice. So half a cup of rice, half a cup of water. 1 cup of rice, 1 cup of water. Alright, so that one's done. Now I'm going to throw everything back in and give it another go over. What I'm also going to do, which you don't have to do, but my stir fry sauce, because I freeze it, I pre-make it and I freeze it, so it's going to be a bit cold. So I like to just heat it up in the microwave quickly. Just for 20 seconds will be fine. Now what you should always also put in your sauce is about a heaped teaspoon of flour, because that thickens it up a bit and it'll coat your chicken and your veggies better. Because if it's too watery, the sauce will end up just sitting on the bottom of your wok and it won't actually coat anything, and you'll find you won't get any of the flavour. But if you add a bit of flour, if the sauce is thick, it'll actually stick to your chicken and your veggies. All right, that's enough. And look, you can see that the oil that I put in at the beginning has lasted. So if you're sort of worried about how much oil, you can always top up. So start with a small amount if you feel like you want to, and if it runs out, just add a bit more. You just have to be mindful that you'll have to wait for the oil to heat up a bit more. Now with the veggies, I just chuck the whole thing. And this is where I use my tongs, because I find it's a bit easier to move around. So first I give them a bit of a stir fry, just to cook them. I like my veggies crunchy, so you don't need to spend too much time cooking them till they're all soft. Just move them all around so they all get a bit of a go on the bottom. And you'll notice that the pan, it gets a bit more manageable once they cook down because they reduce in size. So once it looks like all the veggies have been close to the bottom of the wok, I put my chicken back in, create a bit of a well. And then I tip my sauce in.